Students, we'll start with the chapter 9, force and laws of motion. Okay, now previous chapter 8 we have seen what is motion. Okay, but what causes this motion and why does the speed of an object change, okay, with time? That is what we are going to study in this chapter. You have got two scientists, Galileo Galilei and Isaac Newton, who developed an entirely different approach to understand motion. Okay, now if you see these diagrams which are given in your textbook, you can see the pushing and pulling of an object, which changes the state of motion, and the shape also changes because of this. Okay, now we observe that some effort is required to put a stationary object into motion or to stop a moving object. Okay, so to do this we need some effort from our side, and it can be a muscular effort. Okay, it can be a push, hit or pull that is required for an object to change its state of motion. Okay, now we have always seen this or felt the effect of force. Okay, so it can be only explained by describing what happens when the force is applied. So what happens when a force is applied? Let us see. The first thing is we can use a force for changing the magnitude of velocity. Okay, that is to make the object move slower or faster, or to change the direction of the motion, or the force can change the shape or the size of the object. So these are the effects of force, or why the force can be used. Okay, so you can see these are the examples given here. Okay, now the forces are of two types. You have got balanced force and unbalanced forces. Okay, now if you see, there is a wooden block kept on the table and there are two strings tied, x and y. Okay, now suppose I pull this x string, the block will move towards this side. If I pull the y string, the block will move towards the left side. Okay, now what happens if the block is pulled from both the sides with equal forces? Okay, then the block will not move. Now such forces are called as balanced forces, and these balanced forces do not change the state of rest or motion of an object. So whenever you have balanced forces, nothing will happen. There will be no movement, or there will be no change in the motion of an object. Okay, now what happens when the two forces are of different magnitudes or value? Okay, so then the block will be pulled. Okay, the block will begin to move in the direction of the greater force. So if I'm moving this with a greater force, the block will move this side. If I'm pulling with this side, left side, it will go on the left side. Okay, so if whenever you have got unbalanced forces, then the direction of the block will be on in the same direction of that unbalanced force. This suggests that unbalanced force acting on an object brings it to the motion. So for movement of any body, you need an unbalanced force. So balanced force will have no movement, unbalanced force will give you movement. Okay. Now let us see. There's one another example given in your textbook. There are two children who are moving this box. Now, if you see, this box is in touch with the ground, so there's a frictional force. Now, if you're pushing from this side, the frictional force is acting from the other side. When these two are same, the block will not move because it's balanced. Now you try to apply greater force. So similarly, the friction also will be greater. So again, the block will not move. It's balanced. But now if you apply more force, okay, greater force, then this frictional force, then the block will move, because here the forces are unbalanced. This is more and this is less. Okay, so that is what is explained in this paragraph. Okay, now here this is the explanation of the A part, that is this part. Okay, this is the explanation of B part, and this is the explanation of C part. Okay, so all of you just read. I'll just be sending you the pic of this, where because these two have got balanced, A and B, the frictional force and the force applied, so there is no movement. Okay, but when the pushing force becomes bigger than the frictional force, then there is an unbalanced force, so the box starts moving. Okay, now it's the same thing happens when we are riding a bicycle. If we stop pedaling the bicycle, the cycle will slow down. Okay, this is because the frictional force which is acting on the opposite side of the motion becomes equal to our force. So in order to keep the bicycle in motion, what we have to do is we have to start pedaling again. Thus, it appears that the object, if you want to maintain the motion, you have to continuously apply the unbalanced force. Once you stop that unbalanced force, then the motion will stop. Okay. So, if an unbalanced force is applied on an object, there will be change in either its speed or direction. To accelerate the motion, the unbalanced force is required more. If you want acceleration, more unbalanced force is required. Okay, and change of in its speed would continue as long as this unbalanced force is applied. And if this force is stopped, okay, or discontinued, okay, or removed, then the object will continue to move with the velocity it has acquired. Either it will stop or it will go on moving in the same speed, but the speed won't increase if you are removing the unbalanced force. Okay.